Good evening and welcome to our online new intake evening at Rickard's Lodge. I would like to express a warm welcome to all our new families watching this presentation. I am sure you will find information in this event useful. This evening, we will hear from 6 speakers covering parent information, curriculum structure, and the Chromebooks for Learning programme. I will be your daughter's head of year in September, and I am here this evening to explain my role, that of my deputy, and our team of tutors, and how we are here to help your daughter settle in as quickly as possible. This is a time of transition and change for you all, possibly a little nerve-wracking for the mums and dads, but very exciting for your daughters. Most Year 6 students are really ready for a change. They love the variety that comes with Year 7. So many interesting lessons in a variety of rooms and lots of teachers with their different teaching styles. This brings with it a renewed enthusiasm for school and for learning. Our job is to try and keep that enthusiasm and maintain the very high expectations that we have here. And yes, a few will get themselves lost, a few are a little overwhelmed by it all, and we have a few tears, but that is where we step in and help. We know that the last 2 years have not been easy in school, and we are determined to make this Year 7 a really memorable year for all our students. We have 8 tutor groups, and each tutor group is looked after by their tutor. They are the person who deals with any concerns either the student or you have. They will very quickly get to know your daughter and will be the first one able to flag up any issues, as well as the first person to make contact with home to keep you informed. Your daughter will spend time with her tutor every morning, and they will get to know each other quickly. They will be the first person your daughter turns to for help and advice, and will be the one who manages concerns and sends them in the right direction or to the right person. Your tutor will then hopefully stay with your daughter into Year 8 and all the way up to Year 11. This is where the tutor relationship is a really special one. I am currently head of Year 11, and I have been with them since they were in Year 7. I have only just waved them goodbye, and I already miss them around the school. I am delighted that so many are staying with us into RR6, and I am able to watch them grow up even more. Frighteningly, it feels like only the other day that I spoke to them in Year 6 and reassured them about their journey ahead. I have a daughter too, and she is just a couple of years older than your daughters. So although I have previous experience of being ahead of Year 7, this time around I come with the experience of being a parent of a Year 7 too. Apart from our pastoral role, the year group team also has an academic role in ensuring each one of our tutees meet their target levels and make good progress. We regularly analyse data, we look at results and at progress, and we set targets and monitor them throughout the term. We will very quickly flag up any concerns you may have. There is consistency in secondary school, and it is as strong as it is in primary school, only with the added bonus of a lot of variety in between. There are obviously a few who struggle with the transition, and we will offer them support and help very quickly. We will be on the lookout constantly in the beginning to manage any students who are not coping. It is not possible always to tell who that is going to be. You may be sitting here thinking that your daughter is the one who's going to struggle. She may have had a hard time making friendships in the past and is a bit vulnerable, and you are worried about her. It is quite likely that it will be your daughter who settles in and is happy first. She will suddenly realize that she has a new start and lots of new friends. The advantage of a large and multicultural school is that everyone is accepted because there are just so many different characters around. My personal target is to do everything I possibly can to ensure that your daughter enjoys school. School is a wonderful and happy place to be, and we will work hard to find what it is that will make it a great place to be for your daughter. My request to you on our first step towards this goal is to encourage your daughter to participate in something new at school. I believe that if you become involved in your school community, you develop school spirit and loyalty and a sense of belonging. Enrichment activities also enable us to really get to know your daughter, her strengths, her interests, and her passion. There are choirs and sports teams and drama clubs and a knitting club, and the list goes on and on. There is absolutely something for everyone. Often they are with students from other year groups and they make some important friends across the school. Fingers crossed we won't need to be in bubbles next year and that we will be able to mix across the year groups once again. I have not mentioned discipline and uniform. It goes without saying that we have very high standards which we expect at all times. I know that the details of the uniform have been shared already via the newsletter, but just to reinforce that there is no flexibility here. A uniform makes us all equal. Having pride in our uniform and how we look without question transfers to high standards of behaviour and attainment. We have a homeschool agreement which has been sent to you already. This outlines the responsibilities that we have to your daughter, that your daughter has as a learner, and our expectations of you as parents. Please read through it carefully together and discuss it with your daughter. You can obviously always contact me directly if you have any concerns or worries. In a nutshell, my team will become your daughter's champion when you are not here, and we can't wait to start all over again with a brand new group of little Year 7s. We are now going to hear from some of our current Year 7s about their experiences.
On my first day of Rickard's Lodge, I was really nervous because this is a new experience and the school is way bigger than my primary school. However, all the teachers and the new people that I met made me feel really welcomed. And when I got to meet my tutor teacher, she explained everything to us and it just made me feel so much better and not as nervous as I was before.
Being a Year 7 at Rickard's is really fun, but it's also a very different experience to primary school as you get a lot more variety in your day. For example, you get to change classes for each lesson, which is nice because you get a change of scenery and also different teachers with different teaching styles each lesson. You also get to meet loads of people from different primary schools.
When I first joined Rickard's, I was a bit nervous about getting around the school. It is a big difference to primary school because of the size of the school, but you have your friends, teachers and your timetable to help you get around. Teachers really do not mind if you accidentally go to the wrong classroom, they'll just direct you to the right class.
At Rickard's Lodge, we have a rewarding system called achievement points. You get these points for great effort in class or for doing things in your free time, which are extracurricular. You can also do them for digital badges, which is computing and doing them outside of school. Every time you reach a milestone, which is each 100, you can get a badge which you wear on your school blazer. If you get 300 points, you can be entered into a draw where you can win something.
Joining Rickard's, I have joined netball club, rounders club and dance club. One of my favourites is dance club because you have a dance studio. In the warm-up you can ask the teacher to choose one of your songs, one of your favourite songs.
When I first joined Rickard's Lodge, I made lots of new friends by talking to them a lot. Like whenever it's a new subject, I go to like different types of people and ask them if they want to be my friends, like or work with them if I had a project or something.
When I first started Year 7, I was looking forward to doing new subjects that I didn't do in primary school, for example, drama, dance, and also PSE because I thought they were very interesting. I was also looking forward to learning more advanced subjects. For example, some subjects like maths and science were a lot more interesting and in detail when you go to secondary school. I also like meeting new teachers because I felt very comfortable and I like moving around a lot in school.
Hello, good evening. My name is Paula Simmons and I'm one of the deputy head teachers at the school, and my responsibility lies in focus on the curriculum and the timetable. This is my first opportunity to talk to you, but actually we will meet a number of times over the years at each of the transition points into Year 7, from Year 9 into Key Stage 4 when the students are choosing their GCSE and BTEC subjects, and again when students are looking at progression onto our sixth form in RR6. Our curriculum, the curriculum that the students are about to start in Year 7 in September, is very different to what they've experienced at primary school. And as some of the students just said so brilliantly, they do get to work with a much wider range of other students in different classes, and also they're taught by many more teachers. The specialist staff at the school are all focused on ensuring that the curriculum that they deliver to them is varied, is rigorous, and enables them to become those successful, confident individuals they need to be the successful women of the future. That is our school motto. The full details of our curriculum is on the website, and you can click onto that. But I know many of you are interested in how our class is organised. So the students are in a number of different classes for parts of the curriculum from the start of Year 7 onwards. So there's a diagram on here, and don't expect you to remember this, but this is just to enable you to understand the way that groups work. So they're not taught in the same class for all things. So the year group's divided into 2 equal halves of 120 students that you'll hear referred to as the X side and the Y side. And on each side, there are 4 learning groups: RCAD on the X side and SLGE on the Y side. And you might spot that that sort of spells Rickard's Lodge. They're streamed based on prior attainment in English at primary school and the results of our CATS tests, which we do in September. In those learning groups, they actually complete the majority of their curriculum time in Year 7. So they are in those learning groups for English, history, geography, RE, science, computer science, art, dance, drama, music, PSHE and PE actually. And those are their dominant classes that they're in each period of the day. However, they're also in some other groups. So for maths, they're in sets right from the start of the year. And we reduce the class sizes in maths. So whereas for learning groups, there are 4 groups on each side, for maths, we go to 5 groups on each side. And those begin based on their prior attainment at primary school and the information that we're gathering at the moment from their primary school teachers. But they're reset in September, towards the end of September, following baseline assessments that they will do in their maths class, following the programme of study through Pearson's, which they will follow for the rest of Key Stage 3. On the X side, students will take French or German, and on the Y side, they take Spanish or German. And thank you for completing the request forms and stating first, second and third preferences. And this year, there were a lot of people requesting for German, so we will be having 2 classes. Students are grouped in mixed ability classes of 23 to 25 for technology subjects, which they study on rotation, and that covers things such as product design, textiles and food. And then they're also in their tutor groups, which are mixed ability, 4 tutor groups on each side of 30 students. And they spend 15 minutes each morning with their tutors for pastoral activities and assemblies. And those tutors become your first port of call as part of Miss McKenna's pastoral team of the people that have connection with your daughter every single day and take on the pastoral responsibility for supporting them. We do build in some additional structures into the curriculum. On each side of the year group, on the X and the Y side, one of the learning groups, so 7D on the X side and 7E on the Y side, will include students with specific SEN learning needs and also those students who require more catch-up to support their transition from primary to secondary school. And we're gathering that information from the primary school staff as we speak. These students have got slightly fewer periods in humanities and languages subjects in order to have extra hours in English, because the skills in English will unlock the rest of the curriculum. And we've been running that model for several years, and it's proved extremely successful. There is no cap to what these students can achieve in their GCSEs at the end. What this is about is about boosting their English skills, both reading, writing and speaking and listening skills, right from the start of Year 7 in order to best give them the chances that they can further up. For some of these English lessons, the class is split into 2. So rather than having those lessons in a class of 30 students, they'll be split down again into a class of 18 and a class of 12, for example, with the smaller class, the smaller part of that being the SEN students that get even more bespoke and specialist SEN support. In maths, set 5 on each side is also kept as the smallest set to provide more support for students with the greatest need. Thank you for listening, and we'll meet again many times over the next few years. I'm now going to hand over to Mr. Green.
Thank you. Good evening, I'm Mr. Green. I'm the Assistant Head Teacher with responsibility for digital learning, and I'm really excited to share with you our plans for the future of our curriculum and how digital tools will play an integral part in that. This section should last around 20 minutes, and we will hear from some speakers on the different aspects of the programme, covering our vision, how the use of Chromebooks will feature in our curriculum, and why Chromebooks are the right device. And finally, the logistics of payment and ordering. So I'm going to introduce myself first to talk about the digital vision and the curriculum. So we know to continue educating successful women of the future, we must acknowledge that the integral role that digital technology will play in every student's ability to succeed in a changing world. Technology is the language of the 21st century, and it's essential that every Rickards and RR6 student leaves the school with the digital literacy skills required to meet the challenges of tomorrow. The strategic use of technology in education provides unparalleled opportunities to level the playing field for disadvantaged pupils and empowers every student to take the lead over their education. Access to technology is no longer about simply getting online, using email, or conducting some research. It's a tool for collaboration, for creativity, critical thinking, and communication. Next, we will hear from our pilot group of students currently using Chromebooks in the classroom.
So I will start off. We have used our Chromebooks during in our classes to research things that we have been assigned to do, and we have also used them to edit slides that we've been put on Google Classroom. We also use them for tests, for example the Start Reader test, or maybe something in science or English. It's quite useful in terms of doing online activities.
And we've also been using like the homework, so if you can't access your computer at home, you've got the Chromebook to do it.
Well, once you get your Google Chromebook, it will first show you where you are, and you just have to put your password in. And you could also there's also a lock button over here, and over here there is a on and off button and a volume button. And what you can do is, if you want to, and you're sick and tired of the keyboard, you can like turn it into a tablet, or you can turn it into this when you want to see the screen more and the teacher allows you to.
Yeah. It's useful to get quick information, and it's just also easier. Like if you normally use like a sheet or something to see something clearly, it could just be a second on the computer, and it's pretty easy to use it.
And what I like about the Google Chromebook at home is that I can do my homework more efficiently and quicker and not use my mom's computer. Well, my experience at home is that I have two sisters and I hate sharing, so this Chromebook is really helpful for like work and stuff.
Okay, and we'll hear a little bit more from Seveni in a couple of minutes' time. I just wanted to talk to you about our three principles that we are guiding ourselves with Rickards Lodge, and they are to work smarter by utilising the capabilities of Google for Education directly through things such as Google Drive, Google Docs, and Calendar. It allows students to work in a smarter way, helping them to learn essential digital skills for their next steps, be that RR6, college, university, or an apprenticeship. To be able to access anywhere, which gives the students the opportunity to access their device anywhere and at any time. And that opens up new possibilities for teaching and learning. It redefines what's possible in the classroom, and every student at Rickards will have complete equity of experience throughout their school journey. And lastly, collaborate more. Since launching with Google for Education nearly 3 years ago, both staff and students have been working in new connected ways, not only through online and remote learning, but through collaborative editing and publishing, preparing students for the skills they will need in those next steps. So the curriculum. Well, one-to-one, when integrated into the curriculum, simply means that each student in the school has their own device. They will bring that device to school, use it in lessons, and then take it home with them each day to use for assignments or personal use. A one-to-one programme allows students to move digital access out of the computer rooms and directly into the hands of each individual learner, so they're empowered to achieve more. There is no separate digital curriculum, as the digital tools students and teachers use are seamlessly blended into the outstanding curriculum that we already deliver. Teachers will continue to use tools such as Google Classroom, ActiveLearn, Kahoot, and many more to further enhance the teaching and learning which takes place. The Chromebook simply becomes an extension of the pencil case and a valuable learning tool. Chromebooks also include a variety of accessibility tools for students with SEND. We're proud to be a Google school, and we've been really impressed by Google's ongoing commitment to education as they continually develop a range of school and teacher-friendly apps. We've chosen Google for Education as the right fit for our students and community, and part of this choice was the determination to ensure equity of experience for all of our students. You may well be familiar with Google for Education, because I know quite a few of our feeder primary schools do use Google Workspace as well. The school has also invested in both the Enterprise Edition of Workspace, and we continue to make significant investment into our hardware and into our Wi-Fi infrastructure. A one-to-one program is the next step in our school and community's digital transformation. Okay, so almost enough from me, but we're going to head over to 7E again and hear about their use of Chromebooks in lessons.
Hi, my name's Maria and I use my Chromebook in English a lot because when you read your book, you can mostly, instead of waiting for the lesson for 2 weeks for reading, you can just take out your Chromebook really easily and quiz on it instead of waiting for this lesson and like forgetting everything you're saying.
Hi, I'm Xenia and I've been using my Chromebook for homework because it's much easier to research stuff. For example, if I have homework for science, I can search up the answers and then write it in Google Docs.
I also like it because when you go home, you like charge it, and then sometimes like the battery lasts really good. So if you forget to charge it like one day, then it will be like it will last the whole day still.
We use the computers for quizzing, so if someone could read a quiz when we read a book and then quiz on it, it's really useful to see your progress and how you've been improving. There's also another app called joinpd.com. We use it in our lessons when teachers have some questions that they put in their Google Slides, and we can just type down the answers and then to like lock the screen, and then we'll see what everybody said about the questions. So it's really fun.
So in today's lesson there was groups of 6s and 5 people were listening to one person, and the one person was a director, and they told them where to stand, what to do, what facial expression to do, and they used the camera feature on the Chromebook in drama to take a still picture of a scene.
Then we used the Chromebook to annotate the pictures that we took with them, and then we handed it in the classroom to Mr. Walton so he can see with what we annotated and what pictures we took as well.
Okay, I think 7E stealing the show a little bit there. Next, I'd like to introduce Roger Slade from GTEC, our premier Google for Education partner. Our relationship with GTEC and Roger was formed several years ago, and we've purchased both hardware and software from GTEC. We have an excellent working relationship between both organisations, and I know GTEC is the right partner to support the delivery of the one-to-one programme. So over to you, Roger.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and thank you to everybody at Rickard's Lodge for inviting me along to speak this evening. As I said, my name is Roger Slade. I'm the Business Development Manager at GTEC for all things Google. So, Chromebooks. Let me just explain a little bit around Chromebooks if you're not familiar with them. Rickard's Lodge has been using Chromebooks for some time, and Google Workspace for Education, formerly known as G Suite. Now, the school has been using Google Workspace, and they've also been, you've heard a lot around the students and the work they've done and how they've accessed information from the internet. So a Chromebook works using the Chrome browser, but it also has a Chrome operating system inside it. So it's a perfect solution that the school is now looking to look at a one-to-one scheme to allow all students to have easy access to the web and to all the great tools that Google Workspace offers. So the school has decided to look at the Lenovo 300E second generation Chromebook for their one-to-one scheme. It's a device that the school and GTEC have looked at, investigated, and decided this is the best device for this program. So Chromebooks, they're small, they're lightweight. The nice thing about the 300E Chromebook is it has a 360-degree hinge, and you may have seen in some of the videos that you can see the screen folds completely on itself, and it can be used as a tablet as well. Now, education grade build, that's really important. This device will have metal hinges, it will have rubber edging, it will have a drip-proof keyboard, it will have unpickable keys, all the types of things that are needed to ensure that a device has the best chance of surviving the everyday use in a school. They are simple and safe and secure. So what do we mean by simple? Well, simple, they boot up in 8 to 10 seconds. From the time someone turns it on, they're ready to sign in and away they go in 8 to 10 seconds. They're safe, absolutely. They are connected to the school's network and through a secure account, and that means that all the filtering is protected for that child. And they're secure. Every single Chromebook comes with built-in virus protection, so there should be no issues with any malware or anything like that. Now, as it says, the school is going to the devices will be monitored in school and filtered at home to ensure that the student has a safe and secure experience. And all Chromebooks, and the Lenovo 300E is no different, has something called an auto update and security built in. So what that means is instead of having to wait weeks or months for a Chromebook or a device to update, a Chromebook will update in the background every 6 weeks to ensure that it's running the latest operating system with the highest level of security on it. Now, as part of this scheme, what we have built in, and my colleague James will speak more about it in a short while, is that we have built in a repair service and warranty to ensure that the device will be working all the way through the scheme. The device will also have something called a Chrome OS management license on it. Now, what this means is it allows the school to set policies and settings on the device that is appropriate to your child, ensuring that it is totally secure and safe to use. There will be safeguarding software built into it and web filtering. And as I said earlier, the auto updates will have ensure that the device will not just work quickly the day you own it, but it will work just as quickly in 3, 4, and 5 years' time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass over to my colleague James O'Neill, who'll explain a little bit more about the payment terms and the payment options that are available through Freedom Tech for this scheme. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is James O'Neill from a company called Freedom Tech. We're a financial solutions provider which specialise in the education sector. We partner with all the large manufacturers and resellers around the UK to help support programs such as the one-to-one program that Rickard's Lodge have launched. We're a financially strong organisation that's part of a large American company called CSI Leasing. They've got over 5 decades of trading history and in the region of $1.6 billion worth of assets located globally. We're part of the FLA, which is the Finance and Leasing Authority, and we are also ISO 27001 accredited, which is the highest accreditation of GDPR compliancy that you can have. And I will go on to the importance around that shortly, but it just means that any data that is collected by us as part of this program is watertight and will not be going anywhere. So I'm just going to give you a brief understanding of what the program is and who else we're working with and how these programs have been successful elsewhere around the country. So the idea of the one-to-one program is to essentially drive as much technology into the hands of the children, but through parental contribution, essentially. There's no personal credit checks for anyone that is taking part of the program. We're in our 9th year of running the program, and it's been extremely successful, and I'm sure you'll all understand the last 15, 16 months has kind of led to these sort of programs being even more popular than ever before. So we have currently over 200 schools and colleges across the UK that run the program, and somewhere in the region of 75,000 devices that we're supporting on a monthly basis to make sure that those children are have access to technology and able to get online, be part of their lessons on a day-to-day basis. We, as part of the program, we offer an secure online ordering portal. So essentially, there'll be some details that follow later, which will allow you to place your order and select your payment terms. All payments are taken via direct debit. We have the ability to give you options of paying cash up front and then 12, 24, 36 months. So it really gives you the ability to manage your budget and spread the cost accordingly to make it as affordable as possible. Like I say, no personal credit checks, so everyone is approved, and therefore this is open to all. So as part of the bundle that we've selected for you, so between Freedom Tech, GTech and Rickard's Lodge, we've worked out what the best solution is for you. It all comes with a 36-month swap out warranty. So essentially what this means is in the event that one day the device doesn't wake up, there's something faulty with the device, that would just be logged onto a portal. Again, all details will be provided around that. The device will be brought into the school collected by GTech, taken away, and the following day a replacement device will come in for your daughter to be using. Comes with a 36-month repair service. There's unlimited claims and zero cost around that service. Essentially, again, in the event that something was to happen, accidents do happen. These devices are robust and rugged. However, things will always happen out of the blue, but it's peace of mind to know that it's fully covered throughout. And again, it's just a matter of logging it onto the portal for us to handle that claim. We have a full support and help desk for all those repair and warranty claims for you. And the device ultimately is for use at school and at home. And once the final payment has been made, depending on what payment term you choose, the device will be yours. So just to go through an example of the pricing option, just to show how affordable it can be. So over 36 months, you'd be looking at £13.81 a month, which when you break it down to a weekly cost or even a daily cost, it works out as the equivalent of a cup of Costa coffee a week. So really can be affordable for all to be part of this program. So in terms of value for money check, we always look at comparing to the high street to see what the cost would be on the high street to make sure that what we're offering is great value for money and giving you the best possible deal versus the high street. So you'll just see a list of some costs there that have just been taken from your sort of general high street stores and online stores to build the same package. So you're looking at a high street equivalent of around just shy of £560, including VAT. Whereas our program, in terms of the bundle that we've selected for the school, we've just been able to show you what the savings would be here. So this is compared to the cash price. Cash price would be a saving of around £150. And even if you were choosing to pay monthly over 36 months versus that cash equivalent price, you'd still be saving around £60. If you were choosing to pay over time, you would actually be saving a lot more than that, because we would be comparing it to a high street provider with a high APR, a 19.9% APR. But with our program, we're not taking an APR against that, and therefore it's an even larger saving. So just to go through some of the key dates around the timeline. So once you've finished listening to this evening's presentation, the portal will be open and able to take orders. You just log on and select your payment terms, put some details in, and that will allow that device to be placed, ordered, and sent through to us. The portal itself will close on the 10th of July. So we've got a good best part of a month to allow orders to be placed. And once that portal is closed, it allows us to start collating those orders. The first direct debit would be taken on the 25th of July. And the intention then is to have the devices in the hands of the girls early to mid-September. Just to note that because the first direct debit is taken on the 25th of July, there would be 2 direct debits taken prior to that device being delivered. So just bear that in mind. And how to order, it's very simple, and the school will be sharing some further details around this for you all with some further letters and communication around the program. But there'll be some links to the website. You'll be provided a username and a password that will be unique to the Rickard's Lodge portal. You would just log in and place your order that way. In terms of pupil premium, anyone that is applicable for pupil premium will be contacted separately over the coming days by the school, and you'll be provided some slightly different details around that. And at any point, if you are experiencing any difficulty difficulties at all, there will be a number available for you to contact Freedom Tech, and one of our customer service reps will be able to support you and walk you through the steps accordingly. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, James. So we've just got a few frequently asked questions that I'm going to cover just at the end of this presentation. The first one is, my child already has a different device, such as a laptop or a mobile. Can they bring that in instead? And I think from earlier, we talked about the equity and how everybody has the same experience. So we are saying, no, that is not possible. They need to be fully compatible with the Google Apps and add-ons that we use for teaching and learning, including the monitoring and including the filtering software. It's important as well that the battery lasts those up to 10 hours, because that's what the device requires, and that might be needed in the classroom. And also we need to ensure that the device is managed by the school to ensure the compatibility. So that's really where we are with that. We have selected the best device that we think is going to work best for your child in the classroom. The second question was, what happens if my Chromebook becomes damaged? So I'm actually going to bring Roger back in to answer this question.
Yeah, hi, thanks very much for that. So if the Chromebook becomes damaged, or even if it just stops working in any sort of way, the first instance is we always ask that the student brings the device back into the school to the agreed place to be reviewed. What will happen is that someone in the school within the tech department will do a review of the device to see if they can identify what is wrong with the device. If there is something wrong with it, the school will log the device on a portal, and what will happen is that device will come back to GTEC, and we have a large repair centre here and a warranty centre as well. And what we can do is we can look after and get that device repaired, but to ensure that the student is without a device for the shortest period as possible, as soon as that device arrives back at GTEC, we will send another device out to the school, and the school will be in contact with your student to let them know when that replacement device has come in. So in the first instance, take it back to the school, get them to look at it, and they will look after the process of getting it fixed for you.
Thank you. And the last question was, is my child expected to bring their Chromebook in every day? And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. The Chromebooks are blended into the curriculum, and there'll be multiple times during the school day that the Chromebook will be used. It might only be for 5 minutes in one lesson, half an hour in the next lesson, 10 minutes in the next, but a student is expected to bring a device in fully charged every day in order to maximize their learning during that day. Okay, if you want to find out more about the Chromebooks for Learning program, we have a mini site which you can reach on the website address at the top. I will also be sending out a parent mail PDF leaflet. Please do follow us on Twitter. You'll see some of the learning that's been going on with 7E this term in their pilot group. And any questions at all about the programme, please email me at digital@rickardslodge.merton.sch.uk, and I'd be more than happy as well to jump on a phone call if you wanted to discuss it any further. We have about 20 or 25 frequently asked questions. And if you scan the QR code that's just on this side here, you'll be able to access those frequently asked questions, which are all on the website. So thank you to all of the speakers that we've had so far this evening. I know some of you have already been emailing in or submitting the form to ask any questions just around the wider transition. So please continue to use the form in the transition newsletter or the email address, or obviously contact the school office. But I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of the speakers that we've had this evening, and extend a really warm welcome to all of you, and we really look forward to seeing you in September. Thank you.